everyone, it's Wanda again with Improved Credit Consulting Firm. I lost connection. I work in the middle of the country, so if it rains just a little, I lose internet. Anyway, so I was in the middle of talking about how to prepare your credit for home ownership, and I was discussing about I have videos available on YouTube. Just check us out, Improve Credit TV, and you'll find our videos that will talk about how to settle debt, how to dispute your credit report if you have debts that don't belong to you, or debts that do belong to you but are really old. So check us out on Improve Credit TV, and if you need more education on how to do that, you can check our videos out. Again, establishing credit is important. Making sure that your credit score is at least 580, if not 640 to qualify for a home loan is important as well. Now, I just want to teach you all about what scores look like the lowest score you can possibly have within the scoring system, which is FICO, Fair Isaac Corporation. The lowest score that a consumer can possibly have is 300, and the highest score that a consumer can have is 800. Now, anywhere between a 300 and a 639 credit score is considered poor, and a credit score of 640 and 679 is average. A credit score of 680 to 850, actually 680 to 700 is good, and a credit score of 701 to 850 is considered excellent. So if you're wondering why that's important, especially for lending opportunities, if your score is below 639, you definitely don't want to apply for a loan. Like a credit card company, they may not qualify you unless you do qualify. Your interest rates are going to be really high. Just keep that in mind, especially if you're applying for a car loan. If your score is below 639, you expect your interest rate to be 19-22%, honestly. But if you have an average credit score, which is between a 640 and a 679, your interest rate may be pretty decent, anywhere from 11 up to 18%. If your credit score is 680 to 700, your interest rate could be anywhere from 8 to 15%, depending on the lender. And if your credit score is over 700 or 720, you should get the best rates possible. Anywhere from a 0% APR for 2 years up to a 3% APR, depending on the type of loan you're qualifying for. And I'm talking about what lenders look at when it comes to scores. So now that you know the category of that, you can basically determine what should I do with my credit, and be prepared again that if you give somebody permission to pull your credit report, your scores are going to drop. And I always tell my clients, if you're going to apply for a loan and you want to get the best possible interest rate, I always recommend going when your score online says it's 695 or 700, because then you'll know that your scores at your bank will probably be about 680. The scores online are very different than the scores at your bank. So if you're ever wondering why there's such a difference, it's because online, when you pull your credit report through privacyguard.com, you're going to notice that your scores are about 35 to 55 points lower or higher than the scores at your bank, because when your banks pull credit, they're pulling it through a system called FICO. So the system is different, and the way they score things are differently. So online they may be higher or they may be lower, anywhere from 35 to 55 points. Now, if you ever go and pull your free credit report, through annualcreditreport.com, and each bureau will give you access to your score if you pay for it, you'll notice the scores through that site versus privacyguard.com are very different. And it's confusing. Some of my customers call me and say, why is my score so different with Equifax.com than it is with privacyguard.com or whoever they pull it from? Each third-party website has their own score. So I always like to stick with one, provider. So if I go and I pull credit through PrivacyGuard, I'm going to stick with that site until my credit is fixed, because I don't want to confuse myself and thinking, why is my score so different from one site to another? If you just stick with one, you should be in good shape. And the same thing goes for Credit Karma. I know a lot of you have heard of that because it's advertised everywhere. Pull your free credit report through Credit Karma. Credit Karma is a whole different system altogether. It's good because it's free. It's really a TransUnion system. and it's free. But the problem is that the scores are way off because they use a system called Vantage Score. And the only companies that use that system is insurance companies, not lenders. So you'll notice that through Credit Karma, your scores are 100 points off because they use a different system. It's not the same thing as FICO. So just wanted to give you a tidbit of how to establish credit in order to qualify for a mortgage loan. I will come out with videos about how to establish credit to qualify for credit card, a secured credit card, unsecured credit card, and department store credit cards, because that's different altogether. So we'll talk about that next time. Hopefully I'll be back here next Friday at 11. I usually get online when I notice that people are reserving a spot for this. So if I don't have it every Friday at 11, it's only because I didn't have enough people reserving their spot. But if I put an ad out there, just click like. I know that you're probably going to watch. All right, it was a pleasure talking with you guys, but if you need my help just for your credit alone, specific help, feel free to call us at 704-877-8739.